Hello, welcome to the When I Have Spare Time podcast. My name is Frank, and I'll be sitting here talking to you for a few minutes. As usual, I'm wearing clothes. I'm wearing a Trump hat and a Cheryong from ITZY t-shirt. She is a very good-looking woman. I recommend checking out ITZY. They are a K-pop group you can watch with the sound down, and you will enjoy it because they have some really good-looking members. Check it out. Anyway, we're back with Tyler Spaghetti, my favorite person to look at. She has a video called Crazy Customers Working at a Pet Store. So it's a story time. I'm sure it's going to be riveting. I'm sure it's going to be thrilling. I can't wait. I'm sober. Let's see what happens.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Tyler, and today I have a story time. I'm gonna start a whole series on crazy people that come to my work. I work at a pet store.
You should just do videos all about you, because you're the most interesting person on the planet. Thank you. And remember, she does OnlyFans.
I work with animals. I'm in pet care, just by the way, in case you're new here. Today, I have a crazy story about a tortoise lady. She wanted a tortoise, and she went insane and she lost her mind at me. She got my manager involved. Let's get started with this crap. So, I was feeding this tortoise food that I brought from my house because we don't keep vegetables. I don't know.
She's one of those idiots, huh? So you're telling me PetSmart sells tortoises but doesn't have food there to feed the tortoises? That makes no sense. She's one of those that knows better. Man, I used to work at PetSmart. We had people like that. Like you'd have like the feeder fish tank and someone had brought their own fish food. And I'm like, dude, they're feeder fish. But anyway.
No, if you work at PetSmart, if they actually have vegetables, we don't. So I bring my own because I love this tortoise and I care about this tortoise. I was hand feeding him collard greens and carrots, and this lady comes up and she's like, oh, what? Are you feeding him? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, what are you feeding him? What is that orange stuff? Like, first of all, lady, do you not know what a carrot is? What?
Okay. Oh boy, this is one of the few times where her stories start off and it's actually remotely interesting, and I haven't tuned out, so I actually know what she's still talking about.
This child is literally pointing at me like this in the parking lot.
Because you're the weirdest looking person on the planet. Anyways, talking to yourself in the car.
She was like, oh my gosh, what is this? I'm like, it's carrots, ma'am. And she was like, oh, okay. And she was like, oh, I really want him. And I'm like, oh yeah, me too. He's so sweet, he's so cute. And she's like, oh yeah, I want to buy him. And I'm like, what? Like, I get a ton of people every day that are like, I want this animal, but they're not like, oh, I want to buy this animal. She didn't even know what carrots were. So
just shut up and do your job. You get paid $10 an hour. Jesus Christ. She probably gave her attitude. I bet. Or what if the woman just wanted to buy the turtle because she said she wanted the turtle, kind of like how women like married men because another woman has them, possible.
I don't know. I'm confused. Very confused as to like what's happening right now. I'm like, okay, can you tell me about your setup? Do you have everything set up for him already? And she's like, yeah, I've had tortoises before. And I'm like, okay, how big is your setup? And she's like, 5 feet tall.
Wait, that's weird. If someone says I've had tortoises before, that means they're probably a tortoise serial killer. Those things can live a long time. Like we might have stumbled onto something interesting, actually.
So I'm like, it's 5 feet tall? Okay, well, how wide is it? And she's like, it's like, I can't do it, but it's probably like as wide as a 10-gallon tank. And I'm like, okay, well, how long is it? And she's like, it's 5 feet long. And I was like, ma'am, you said it was 5 feet tall, so I'm very confused.
Oh my god, just sell her the damn tortoise. You caused the problem. I understand why the woman got the manager now. Because I remember one time when I was Mr. Goldfish, I used to get fancy goldfish, like really fancy goldfish, like like the ones that cost $20. And so I remember I was at the whatever the fish palace, and I was getting it was a $7 goldfish, and it was basically just the ones that had puffy cheeks. And the guy was asking me about my setup, and I'm like, it's a fucking goldfish.
As to what's happening right now. And she was like, yeah, I usually have no problems. Nobody asking me any questions when I buy a tortoise. I buy tortoises here all the time. And I'm like, okay, ma'am, I just have to make sure he's going to a good home,
Oh
okay?
my god, you retard!
Like,
You're
I'm
a
being
fucking
nice,
retard.
okay?
No, you're not. You're being annoying.
Um, so I asked her if they have a heat light in UVB. And
Oh,
she's like, yes, I know what I'm doing. I've had
oh.
tortoises before. I have everything set up.
She's she's a Karen with a job. Usually, it should be the other way around. Like the Karen is the one that comes into work and fucks shit up. But no, she's a working Karen fucking up the customer's vibe. Just sell the goddamn tortoise. Jesus Christ. But remember, she doesn't mean she doesn't even know what her gender is. She's gender fluid, remember. So like we are dealing with a retard. Now, she is going to change later on, but at this part of the Tyler Spaghetti lore, she is a woke retard. Okay.
I don't know why you're asking me these questions. I know what I'm doing. And I'm like, okay, ma'am, I just have to ask you about your setup. Repeatedly saying, like, hey, I have to ask you about your setup. That's just what I have to do. Why do people blatantly stare at me?
Because you look weird.
I don't know. I'm just talking to myself in my car.
No,
It's
it's
fine.
not. It's not about you
Um,
talking. You look very weird.
so then she tells me she has a heat light and UVB. I'm like, okay, it's inside or outside? And she's like,
Oh,
I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this
oh.
question game. I don't like this question game.
I'm tired too. Dude, like, you gotta read the room. Like, stop asking the woman questions. Okay? She's a tortoise serial killer. She wants another victim. Just sell it to her. It's PetSmart. You're gonna get a million more. You're gonna have to let it go. Just because this special tortoise got to eat your carrots that probably weren't carrots because she didn't recognize them. It was probably something else. It was probably an orange, but it was vegetable fruit fluid. So it was hard to tell.
It's inside. I'm like, okay, ma'am. And she goes off on her rant, like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. I'm tired of you asking me questions. Like, I don't know why you're asking me this. Like, she keeps saying this over and over again. So I'm like, okay.
Because you pissed her
And I
off.
walk off. I don't even say, like, hey, I'm going to be back. Like, I literally just leave. But I was leaving to go get the paperwork. I just didn't tell her because I'm not dealing with it. Like, I'm tired of this lady.
Like a typical woman, I can upset you, but I'm not gonna stay and take accountability.
Whatever. And I'm on my radio because we have radios to like talk to coworkers, and I'm like, oh my god, this lady is crazy. She's yelling at me because I'm asking her questions about her setup for this tortoise. And my managers are like, oh my god, that's a crazy lady. And I'm like, yeah, it's a crazy lady. So I'm getting the box set up. I'm talking to one of the managers about how she's insane. And yeah. We're talking shit about her. You know how it goes. If you're crazy and you're in retail, we're gonna talk crap. Can I speak?
Dude, I just find it funny. A person that looks like her is gender fluid and failed ninth grade and does OnlyFans is talking shit about people and giving other people a hard time. Anyway,
We're gonna talk crap about you. That's just how it goes. I'm sorry.
okay, okay.
What do you expect? You're gonna come in here acting like a crazy person.
Says the person who is gender fluid. What?
Anyways, after
Yeah.
I talk crap about her
Yeah.
and I gather my composure,
Mm-hmm.
I bring the box over
Mm-hmm.
and I bring the paperwork and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my god, this lady's crazy. Like, she's probably gonna yell at me that
You're
I'm gonna
crazy
have her
too, though.
sign this thing. So I go over there and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go put the tortoise in the box for you. Can you sign this paper? And she's like, yeah, but I still don't understand like why you had to ask me all these questions. It doesn't make sense. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, ma'am. I just had to make sure he's going to a good home.
Yeah.
Again, I've said this like 5 times now. Like, how many
Pissed her
times do
off.
I have to say like I'm just doing my job? I don't know.
That's another thing. It's PetSmart. Why are you doing your job? I remember when I worked at PetSmart, I did overnights, and I remember the worst part about the job was taking care of cats. And like people would leave their cats there overnight, and so like you have to go feed it or whatever. And if a cat stayed there for a long time, like if a cat didn't use the restroom for like I forgot like 3 checks or something, you have to check it every couple of I don't know the cycle, but if it didn't use the restroom for like 3 cycles, whatever, you have to take it to the vet. But the problem is most of the animals that stayed there didn't eat or drink because they hated the place. And so you're not going to use the restroom if you don't drink, and you're not going to, and don't eat. And so I want to say every, let's say there'd be like 10 cats that, oh, like they have to go to the vet because they didn't, use the restroom. I would just say one of them because, you know, there's always that one worker was like, yeah, all 10 gotta go. So I'd just be like, oh, on my shift, it just happened to be one. Meaning, I'm not doing my job because it's, you're getting paid how much? Not enough. What's the point? And they're just animals. They're not people. Like if it was people, well, that's different. Like, whenever Monica hasn't eaten in 4 days, I think there's something wrong. Like, let's take her to the hospital. But dog or cat, no.
1,000 times maybe it would have gone through her head. I don't know. But she fills out the form. She skips the email part, which I was told that. Why do you have to stare at me?
Look at you.
Literally, both of them
Look at you.
staring at me.
Look at the way you look.
And I stared right back at them. Yeah, I don't get it. Why are you doing that?
Okay.
Yeah. Where was I?
Don't know.
So she didn't put her email, and I was like, could you please put your email? And she was like, no. She threw the paper on the cart that I had for the tortoise. She threw it down, and she was like, no. Keep in mind, her husband is right there. Her husband hasn't said a word to me about anything. I don't know if he was embarrassed or if he just didn't.
He's a man. He doesn't give a fuck about what's going on. He's just there. He probably wasn't even paying attention.
Want to be mean to me because he knows that like I'm doing my job.
No, he doesn't know anything about
you. Don't need to be mean to me.
He should have hit
I'm
you.
just doing my job. He didn't apologize for her or anything, so I don't know. I don't know whose side he was on, but
Gee, I wonder, would he be on his wife's side or the 18-year-old gender fluid lesbian that has an OnlyFans that failed ninth grade? I wonder whose side the husband would be on. Hmm. I don't know actually.
Doesn't matter, this crazy lady. So I put the tortoise in the box. And I'm like, all right. I didn't even get to finish my sentence. I was about to say, all right, you're all set. No. I give her her part of the paper, and she's like, you know what? I'm so mad. I had to play 51 questions with you. One, I didn't ask 51 questions. I asked probably like 6, 7.
Okay, so women lie with numbers, like body count and stuff. So 6 or 7, she probably asked 13 questions. Probably asked 13 questions.
Which is not enough. Like if I was with a nice person, I'll probably ask like 20 questions at least.
That is way too much. Dude, it's like adopting a child is easier. I remember when I've worked in the industry. I'm working at this dog place, whatever. We have dogs you can adopt. And so, person wants to come in and adopt a dog. Cool, right? Like, no, we have to go to your house and make sure it's safe for I'm like, what are we doing? And do you know how many people would not adopt a dog because we had to send someone to their house to like judge their house and make sure it's safe for the dog? I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? And then like one of my coworkers wanted to adopt a dog. He's like, I don't want people coming to my house. So he found someone who had a house that they didn't mind if people came to the house to inspect the house. More drama. Anyway, so he did that and adopted a dog. But I'm like, people don't want strangers coming to their house and inspecting, and people don't want to ask 100 questions. I mean, obviously, if I'm buying a goldfish, yes, I have a goldfish tank, and like, no, I'm gonna take it home and throw it on the cement. Like, what? I'm like, if you buy a tortoise, you probably have a setup. If you buy a lizard, if you buy a dog, if you people usually just don't buy a pet. People usually don't buy a pet and then like just well, gee, like I guess I better get all this other stuff too. Like they know what they're doing.
It's like the bare minimum. But this lady was not having it, so I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm not doing it. I can't be bothered with it. I just can't. She's like, you told me all this stuff. I had to play 51 questions with you. I've never had to do this before. You had me ask all these questions, but you didn't even tell me that there's a 2-week return policy. And she kept saying that. She was like, you had to make sure I was doing all this right, but you couldn't even tell me about what's on the contract. First of all, ma'am, I don't have to tell you that there's a 2-week return policy.
Well, I don't know. That's something you should tell them though. I mean, you don't have to, but I mean, I would tell them. I mean, if you're buying never mind. This girl's retarded.
Like, I don't have to tell you that. It says it on the contract that you signed, that you obviously read because you yelled at me for it.
No.
People don't care about the return policy if they can take care of the animal.
But you're buying the animal from a chain pet store, which means it's not being taken care of, which means it can die in a week. It's happened several times. I mean, I've bought dozens of fish from Petco, PetSmart, both of those stores, and fish tank set up, everything's done right. You have to let it. I don't know what the proper word is, but like you have the tank run for at least a week. To get out, just to get everything right. Like the chemicals in it. I mean, like, if it's a tropical, but also a goldfish tank, you do let it run for a week and make sure, but it's easier, so there's less, things to worry about. But anyway, point is, Um, when I buy, at least from Petco and PetSmart, and I have a tank that's set up, done to the book, it's a 50-50 chance that the fish live. And it doesn't matter if it's the 25-cent feeder fish or the $5 one or the $7 one, the $10 one or the $20 one. It's a 50-50 chance because you're getting it from a chain store where they really don't take care of it. Because, they don't last long. And like the fish comes in or the pet, whatever, and it's probably sold within a week. So it really doesn't get taken care of. But then, sometimes they don't get sold, but they get treated the same way, like they're only going to be there for a week. And so those are the ones you got to worry about. That's why, like, you can buy a chinchilla from whatever PetSmart, and then like it dies in a week because it's actually been there for like a month, but it gets treated at the store like it's only going to be there for a week. Anyway, whatever.
I'm just saying, like, you don't care about a return policy if you're actually going to take care of the animal. I mean, obviously, there's people that, like, if your animal gets sick, it's covered. But people aren't stressed out about it if they're actually going to take care of the animal. Anyways, she was yelling at me for that. She said
Good.
that about 3 times. Like,
Good.
how could you ask me all these questions
Good.
but didn't tell me about the 2-week? Sorry, I'm mad. I can't speak. You couldn't tell me about the 2-week return policy. You had to go off with all these questions, but you couldn't tell me about the 2-week return policy. She said it in like 3 different ways. I'm like, okay. And I was about to say, alright, I'm sorry, I just had to make sure the animal was going to a good home, but I couldn't finish that because my manager was right there listening to her yell at me, and she was like, do you have a problem, ma'am? And here I am, I look at her and I'm like, yeah, we're having a problem. And so this lady, she screams at my manager that I asked her questions, which, by the way, that's my job. So she's snitching that I'm doing my job. Thank you. Thank you for letting my manager know that I'm doing my job. Thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah. She's saying that, like, I asked her a million questions, but I didn't tell her about the return policy.
This is why you don't do your job. People, I don't care what your job is, unless you're a doctor, lawyer, school bus driver, tattoo artist. Don't do your job. Do it half-ass. If part of your job is asking someone 300 questions about if they're qualified to purchase this item, just ask 2 questions. Just do that, because it's like, if you have a setup, the whatever she call it, the terrarium, I guess you would keep a tortoise in. If she has that and said she's had others before, and then you ask that other question about the light, and she says she has the light, so she probably has everything else. The reason why she's on multiple tortoises is because she kills them on purpose. She probably raises them and then makes soup. She makes turtle soup out of the tortoises. And I'm not kidding. I really think she's a tortoise serial killer. She raises homegrown tortoises, and then when they get big enough, she makes turtle soup. Tortoise soup. Okay? There's a lot of evil in this world. And some people do go food shopping at PetSmart. They do. I'm sorry. It's life. It's evil. There's people that go grocery shopping. They buy their livestock at PetSmart. That's why we never let Asians adopt a dog from PetSmart. Seriously. Because we know, there's about a 45% chance that it's going to be eaten. 45%. I would say 50, but, I don't be racist.
Policy. And my manager was like, I got this. I can handle it. And I was like,
That's code for I get paid $2 more than you.
Thank you. And I ran away from the situation and I went to go crap talk her on the radio yet again to the other manager what that was there, and he was like, "Oh my god, she is crazy." So I got all my managers on my side. Like, I don't. If you're gonna be crazy, just know we don't side with crazy. We just don't. Like, you're gonna
You
get
just
crap
hire
talked.
crazy, apparently.
I told, I told my mom. I told my coworker that was at home. She likes the drama, so I tell her about the tea that happens at work while she's not there. I told my two managers, like, tea spilling everywhere, okay? And while I am sitting at the podium, there's like a pet care podium where like all the paperwork is. I was laughing to myself about how crazy this lady is, and I'm like, oh my god, did that really just happen? Did that really just happen? And I keep looking over because the manager's still talking to her, and I like really want to go over there and like listen to what's happening.
No,
It's funny. Okay, like, why are you losing your mind over me asking questions?
because it's annoying. You're spending money. You just want to get in and get out and not be hassled by someone who knows it all. You know, they sell tortoise pellets in the store, and I'm surprised that they let her bring food from home to give to the tortoise. Because when you feed the pets in PetSmart, I'm just talking about from my experience working there, you feed them the food that the store sells, like all the animals. So, you know, I don't know.
About a tortoise when it's literally my job. I don't know. Why did this guy just took one of our carts, drove it across the parking lot, and then why did that happen? I don't know. Okay. Anyways, back to my crap story. My manager comes back after like 5 minutes. And she's like, yeah, she was crazy. Basically, what my manager was telling her was that it's my job to ask questions to make sure that the animal goes to a good home. And actually, I'm gonna speak from my manager's point of view. Stop staring at me.
Have you seen the way you look? Just saying. You are my favorite person to look at. There's a reason why.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna pretend
She belongs in a zoo. I'm just saying.
I am my manager. And when I say she, I'm talking about me. Just by the way. Because I'm gonna get confused when I'm rewatching this. Anyways,
Failing ninth
I'm
grade.
a manager right now. Okay, we got it. We got it. We're on the same mindset. Actually, she's just doing her job, making sure that the animal is going to a good home. Also, she's the one that brings in the veggies for the animals, so she's really passionate about animals, and she just wants to make sure that they're going to a good home. She's just doing her job. She's really great. She knows what she's doing. All that. Okay, back to my perspective. My manager was like, "You're amazing. Thank you." And I was just like, I'm about to tear up because, like, my manager. Listen, I worked at Walmart before this, and I did not even know my managers. Everybody quit after
She worked 1 day a week at Walmart. Of course, she didn't know anyone.
like 2 weeks. There were constantly new people, new managers, new like owners of that store. I don't know what was going on there, but my managers did not have my back, like, ever, because I didn't even know who they
You were there once a
because they got
week.
switched every freaking 2 weeks. I don't know. But here, the whole like culture of working here is so different because I mean, I know it's different, but why are you staring at me?
Look at you.
You don't have to, ma'am. Anyways, the whole I can't speak.
Culture.
This lady is just,
Culture.
like, staring right at me. Okay.
Culture.
The whole culture of
Culture.
this work is different, and I know that it's different from store to store because I've been on Reddit and I've seen people say that like their managers are evil. I do not have one bad manager that would side with a customer over me.
I don't care. I just don't care.
I'm just saying, working here has been insane. Can you please get out of your car instead of just staring at me?
I wonder if she still works at PetSmart.
Yeah, I love that.
I wonder.
Living my best life with my managers, actually having my back for once, which is not something that I'm used to at all. Very rare thing for me. Anyways, I will be going to work now. Just by the way, this is going to be a series. This is going to be my first part, probably. I already have a second part up already, I believe. So I'm just going to add that one as a part 2. Because, I don't know.
Okay.
Like in that part, I didn't even know I was going to make a series because we didn't have that much crazy people.
Mm-hmm.
But since I'm working a lot more, I'm having a lot more crazy people.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured I'm just going to make this an entire series.
Okay.
Just go all out.
Okay.
Honestly, it's probably going to take over my channel because I just have so many stories of crazy people.
Okay.
But it's fine.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
That's just how it's going to be. I'm going to be
Okay.
pet store crazy story girl on YouTube for right now.
Yeah, that's going to do really well. That's going to really do it. Good job. Okay.
Until I find something else to do with my life.
Well, you're doing OnlyFans.
She's still just staring at me.
Dude, OnlyFans stories would be great,
I'm
actually.
going to work. I'll see y'all next week. Have a good Wednesday. Have a good Friday. Have a good
week.
Did you hear me? I just skipped Thursday. Oh, update on my life. I'm allergic to acetaminophen. I don't know if that's how you say it, but I'm allergic to it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a really fun thing that I found out this week. It's really great. I would recommend it.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. Just become like allergic to basic medication out of nowhere for no reason. It's great. Anyways, have a good Wednesday.
Have a good Thursday. Have a good Friday. Have a good week.
weekend,
have a good weekend.
And I'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Well, that was good. Good shit. Yeah, I don't blame the customer for being mad. Anyway, you guys have a good one. I'll talk to you later. Peace.